Hey everybody, welcome back to Stretchies and Stuff. My name is Jane and I literally just came in the door from a run, and today I want to just take you through my little stretching routine that I do after a run. So this is all just going to be on the mat. We won't even stand up. We're gonna come onto hands and knees. So if you have sensitive knees, you can have something to pad your knees. If in child's pose it's hard to get to the ground, you can put a little pillow under your face. Otherwise, go for a run, come back, and let's do this stretch. All right, everyone, getting started. Let's just come into child's pose. So sit on your heels with your knees nice and wide. Lengthen through the spine. You can raise your arms up overhead and just walk yourself forward. So imagining bringing the hips all the way to the heels. This should feel pretty good after a run. So take some time just to rock your hips from side to side. Come into the breath. Maybe your heart's still beating. Maybe you're still breathing heavily from your run. And just bring your awareness to the whole pelvic structure. Have you ever seen a pelvis? It's a lot of bone. So just imagine that heavy structure sinking and all the muscles that are wrapping around it, that make your legs move, that make your whole body do the things it does. Just imagine those softening, melting, like butter on a pancake. Let's walk the hands over to your left hand side. So walking that right hand all the way over off the mat. You can even bring the right hand on top of the left hand, and then imagine bringing your right hip down a little bit closer to your left hip. Breathing into the side body, expanding through those right ribs. Stretching in the side of the hip, under the armpit. Try to soften the shoulders away from the ears. Walking yourself through center and off to the left, hand reaching to the right. So reaching that left hand over off the right side of the mat, left hand on top of right hand, working with the space that you got. Maybe you can see that I'm negotiating with this couch. But send that breath into the left side body. Feel the left rib cage expand and contract. And imagine sending that left hip a little closer down towards the left heel. One more breath here. And then walk yourself to center. Press into your hands to bring yourself slowly up onto your knees. And then bring your knees together. Tuck the toes under. And just sit on the heels for a second. Tell me how that feels. So you can bring your hands kind of onto the ground in front of you if it's too intense to sit up straight. I'm going to do that. I've been dealing with some tight feet and ankles lately. So I always do this after a run, just stretching out the bottoms of the feet, stretching the toes. Breathe into this. It might be excruciating, but try to bring your hands to your hips. And maybe come up, roll the shoulders onto the back. It's not going to kill you. It feels like it is. But just try to stay here. And bring the hands forward. Shake out the feet. And come on to the heels. We can do a little counter pose to that. This one is also, really effective after a run, but can be intense. See what happens. I'm not going to go too far here because I'm dealing with an ankle injury, and if you are too, maybe don't even do it. You can just stay sitting on your knees if that's even comfortable. But experiment with lifting back, lifting the knees up, stretching the fronts of the calves, the fronts of the ankles, the fronts of the shins actually. And release. Bring the hands down. Come onto hands and knees now. So as always, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, the knees over the hips, and just come through some nice cat-cows. So arching the spine, let the belly drop. Inhale, look up towards the sky. Exhale, curl the spine. Imagine bringing the tailbone in, down towards the ground. Look towards the navel. And inhale, open through the front body. Exhale to curl. Inhale to open. Exhale, curl. Stay here. And I like to shift from side to side here. So really push up through that cat back and give yourself a little massage. And keeping that openness, see if you can just suck the right knee in towards the chest and walk it through. So that openness kind of makes space for that leg to walk through. If you need to grab your ankle and bring it forward manually, no problem. Okay, so coming into a nice low lunge, you can walk that left knee back. So lift it up, boop, plop it back. And just see what's going on here. Wow. Rock from side to side. This is a great opportunity to bring a pillow or a block or something that gives you a little bit more height underneath your hands. Or if you feel comfortable with your hands on the ground, do that. Fingertips will give you a little bit more space as well here. And just breathe. You're going to feel this in the inner right thigh, the back, the left hip flexor. Soften the face. Gaze forward on the mat. Gently walk your hands forward and see if coming down to the elbows is an option for you today. Stay active in the core here and try to zip that right knee in towards the right shoulder, keeping everything activated. You can even lift up the back hip a little bit if you want to, or you can come into a bit more of a passive rendition. Walking up onto the hands. And bring that right hand on the outside of the right leg. Start to lift the hips up. Walk the right heel a little bit forward and come onto that heel. So we're walking forward so that the left hip is still on top of the left knee. So that's in a nice straight line. Toes pointing up towards the ceiling on the fingertips or on blocks or books or water bottles or wine bottles. Inhale. Look forward, smile, smile for your hamstrings, and exhale. Release the head, release forward without dumping. Try to keep some activation going on in the arms, activation in the core. Inhale, come back into that low lunge. So suck that right heel back, come flat onto the right foot, bring your hands onto the right knee and just lift yourself up. Plant the hands. And now just coming onto the left hand, I like to inhale, nice little twist. So reach up through the right fingertips, suck that right thigh back into the hip socket. Got there in the end. Trying to square off the hips a little bit. And exhale, bring that right arm down, lift the hips once again, and slide the right knee back beside the left. Plant the hands and come through some nice cat-cows. Inhale, arch the spine, look up. Exhale. Exhale, curl. Inhale, look up. Exhale to curl. Okay, coming to the other side. So keeping that curl, imagine that curl, that hollow little belly, making some space for that left knee to just plop, step forward. Coming into a nice low lunge on this side. So just feeling that out first. Saying what's up to the hips in a different way. We already said hi to them when we went and ran on them for however long. Okay, let's bring that left hand into the inner edge of the left foot, staying on those fingertips or on blocks, experimenting with where you want to put the hips. So if you feel like that left hip is jutting out to the left, try to suck it in, suck the left femur bone back into the hip socket to try to level the hips out. Left toes are slightly pointed off to the left. And then look forward, walk the hands forward a little bit to bring the elbows under the shoulders, forearms on the ground. Release the head. And try to keep some activity in the hips. So keeping them lifted, maybe not dumping completely. Sipping up through the core. Release the head. Release the jaw. Walk yourself back up onto the hands. Bring that left hand outside of the left leg. And then just bring your hips back so that your right hip is on top of your left hip. And then see how much you have to walk that left foot forward to keep everything in line. Okay. So from here, bringing your hands down onto your blocks or onto the ground, keeping the heart open, looking forward. And imagine you're dragging that left heel towards your body. So planting it down into the ground and pulling it back into yourself, but it's actually not moving. This is all just kind of a way of engaging and stretching a little bit deeper and smiling. Breathing into that hamstring, those hamstrings, all them juicy hamstrings. And you can soften a little bit here if you want to get a little bit lower, if you're making a little bit more room. Coming back up, suck that left heel back underneath the left knee. Boop-a-doo. And bring yourself into just a little low lunge, stretching out the hip. And now bring that right hand onto the ground, slightly off the mat, either on fingertips, palm, or block, and inhale. Reach up, twisting, opening up through the heart as well. And exhale, plant both hands on the ground, coming back to hands and knees. Lift the hips, come into a quick little downward facing dog. Just paddle out the heels. And just walk yourself forward. This is fun with socks. I'm all sliding around. And come have a seat. And from a seat, lie down. So just come onto the back. Give yourself a hug. Knees in towards the chest. See if you can bring the tailbone a little closer down towards the ground. And hugging onto that left knee, extend the right leg flat on the ground. And with your fingers interlaced around the left knee, just bring that left knee in towards the left armpit. So coming a little off to the side, breathing into the inner thigh. Seeing what's going on in there. Oh, and while we're here, let's make some nice ankle circles. Super important. Mobilizing, strengthening the ankles. So we're just going in one direction and switch directions. Okay, bring the knee to center. Bring the right knee in and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Bring your hands through that little window, or keep the right foot on the ground if that's enough for you. But if you want to go farther, interlace the fingers over the right shin. Oh yeah. Should feel really nice in the glutes. And stay here. Keep the left toes flexed back towards the knee, just to keep the knee nice and safe. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take that left hand and gently, keeping that flexion, keeping activation, just guide the left knee a little farther away from your body. Maybe you'll feel a little more action going on here in the glutes. Stay here. Breathe here. And then my favorite twist is coming at ya. Take this whole structure and just let it fall over to the right side. Bring the left arm out into a T shape, and the right hand gently pushes away on the left inner thigh. Again, keeping that engagement in the left ankle, the left toes, flexing back towards the left knee. You should feel some nice action here in your glute medius, really important for running. We'll strengthen those together one day as well. They get neglected, but they're really important. So stay here for another nice deep breath. And release by bringing that left knee back into the chest. Right knee comes into the chest. Give yourself a nice hug. And coming on to the other side. Ooh, such a tall person problems. Okay, so on the other side, we're going to interlace our fingers, hands, around the right knee now, hugging that right knee off towards the right armpit, making those nice circles with the right ankle. This is my tricky ankle. So I'm going a little bit more gently, just working on improving that range of motion. Sending it some love. Switch directions. And point and flex. Okay, giving that knee and a little extra squeeze now, and then bringing that left knee in towards the chest. You can just start with the left foot on the ground and crossing that ankle over the thigh. Flex those right toes back towards the right knee, and if that's enough for you, that's great. If you want to go farther, bring it in, bring the hands through that window, interlace over the shin, or if you interlace over the hamstring, that's a little bit closer to the body. Whatever feels good for you. Keeping that flexion in the toes. If you enjoyed placing the right hand gently on the right knee and pushing it away from the body, go for it. Getting a little bit deeper here. Okay. And now coming into that awesome glute medius, so like baby glute stretching twist, bring that whole structure over to the side. So it should look like this. I might get my boyfriend to do a little aerial shot of this later. Ooh, there it is. So that you can see it nicely. Okay, so we're gently pushing away. And letting the gaze fall over to the right side. So gently guiding the upper right thigh away from the body with the hand. If you're not feeling it, you can always grab that right ankle and bring it a little closer into the body, and it might get a little bit deeper. And stay here for one more nice deep breath. And release. And this time when you release, just stack the right knee on top of the left. Come onto your left arm. Push yourself up. And come to seated. Okay, we're just about finished. Quick butterfly pose and that's it. I'll let you go. Have a little snack or something. So give your feet a little massage here. Rock out the knees. And gently bring yourself forward. And so you can soften forward here. And just see if that feels good for you. Kind of releasing the upper body here. Come back up to seated. Come back on your hands. Bring your legs nice and wide. Windshield wipe them out for me. And feel free to come back to any of the poses that we just did and hold them for a little longer if they felt good. And that's it. Thank you guys for joining me for this little post-run stretch. See you next time. Oh, right. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, wherever that thing is. Hit the bell so that you get notifications. If you like the class, share it on Facebook or Instagram and all those other things. Thank you.